around December 1st. Last month, the last word. Now we get started. Yeah, there we go. We're waiting on you.
135 was all backed up. Bill, kind of talking about Bill's the hay all over the highway.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Right. I feel like I'm on it. Yeah. Everybody happy, feeling good? Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy to be here this morning. First of all, giving all honor to God. I just want to make sure y'all feeling me this morning. Welcome to JMG Network. Y'all all right with that?
Oh, yeah.
I want to speak on, I'm going to write this up here real quick. Just a simple word. Just theory. Because that's what we are going up for, which is pretty much when you align a base of facts together, or the theory, when everything comes together, there'll be certain results. So the theory is I want to get into the theory of wealth and the theory of success, especially when it pertains to what we have. I look at all of this as, I'm one of those guys, and I've been saying a lot lately that, okay, when the music is on, we dance, right? Mm-hmm. But you also have to recognize when the music stops, sometimes people keep dancing. And if you dance and the music ain't going on after so long, people look at you like, what's wrong with you? There's no music on. So if we were to just go outside and be minding our business, be downtown, whatever city you live in Minneapolis, etc., and you just see somebody out there just straight up breaking down, and you notice they ain't got no headphones on, in the beginning, you can be like, look at that one. And you might even bob with them for a little bit and be like, hey, at least tell me what song we're on, what tune are we listening to? Because you have to be tuned in to the same frequency. Now, when you're in a place where everybody is tuned into the same frequency, and that beat drop, I've been to places, I'm going to go ahead and go in the back time, where literally where Funkmaster Flex and big DJ Kid Caprice, big famous name DJs, and they put a song on and everybody would know it, especially if you ever been to a real party like in New York City, and it's like the song come on and they're like, new stuff, and the DJ will spin the record and he cut it on and you watch the whole crowd just go bananas and you be in it like, yeah, and then he'll stop it. Like, y'all ain't ready for this? Y'all ready for this? And the crowd is yelling, it's the same record, but it's the intensity that the DJ puts behind it that makes you think he stops it again. You be with your girl like, you start looking really good to you right now. The beat going, and like, and the music ain't playing, the DJ talking, right? You doing your thing, like, all right, DJ, come on, DJ. And he's like, boom, 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 boom. And you just lose your cotton picking mind, right? That's fun. Everybody's in sync. They get it. They know the tune. They follow directions. You get someplace separate, and you can tell that story. But after you tell the story, then they have to go get it for themselves. Then the reality is, hey, to go to this place, you got to get your airline ticket. You got to go pay the price. Then it's, oh man, it's just good laughing with you about it. But they still have to go get tuned in so that they can feel the whole fun of that great party. So now here we are talking about success in life. And for me, I'm so simple because I'm not a complicated person. I promise you, if you try to fight me, you'll win. I'm just so not a complicated person. You'll be like, hey, don't. You know, really, I'll probably won't walk off that simple. But you get the point is, I won't argue with you. I'll just look at you and say, God bless you, and I'll move on, and I'll go pick my ball up, and I'll go to another court. You know, as simple as that. You know, as I remember Will Smith was being interviewed by Russell Simmons before he signed him. And to get to know his character, he asked Will Smith, he said, you know, he asked all the rappers this question. Some like, and the question was simple. What would you do if a person came up and punched you? And, you know, all these other rappers like, I'm gonna beat him down. I'm gonna do this and that. You know, I'm from the streets. Will Smith said, I grabbed my face and said, ouch. You know, and it was just like he said, because it made him laugh. That's why I signed him. It's like, because nobody else, he wasn't expecting that. But that's actually the truest response. He's like, and I'm like, right, how do you respond? You don't say, ouch. In other words, his focus was not retaliating on the person, because the minute someone says or does something against you and you retaliate, you're off your track, instantly off. You know, so even when I'm dealing with folks and I see them, I'm like, you're trying to divert the conversation here. You're trying to divert the focus, you know, and then you have to stop and then stick on the conversation that you're on. So if the theory is 3 people, then the reality is what? Wealth. If we are all following the same theory, then we all will get the same reality. But if we're not really on the same theory, then the reality is now confused. So when I say how simple something is, and I want you to just roll with me because I'm going to go through something that you've seen before. But after you see it so many times, you know about the party. The first time you heard that music and you started jamming to it. Then after so long, you're like, oh yeah, I know this tune. You know how it's funny how you heard a record, you couldn't wait to get that record. Then after you heard the record some more, you don't want to hear it no more. You know, it's you got to understand that I can teach you the theory of success, but do not refrain away from knowing that you are in the people business. People let records get old. They let sayings get old. You know, at one time we was like, yo, son, that's fresh. And it's, you know, that was like the word, you know. And you like, oh. You did something when you did that, right? You when you do that, in that era, you did something, right? So we can go and be like, oh, everybody know. You see, in that era, it fit. So now we understand the reality is, if we follow the same theory, we are going to bring in 3 people into this lovely business, right? We have always taught to do it within 7 days. I'm going to put 7 days up here. Faith has to be connected to the theory. We get people, and can y'all just know that we are all only human? Training is weird. Saturdays, 10 a.m. You know, one of the biggest pet peeves for me as an entrepreneur is when people want time outside of that time. And I'm like, for me, I'm like, who brought you into business? You should go speak to them. I don't want to speak to them. I want to speak to you. You know what? Then you're about to quit. Because I'm the author of Schedule for Success. In the time you want, I'm not scheduling for you because I'm scheduling for some other enterprise that benefits you, but you want to make my schedule fit your schedule, and you have to follow the theory. Who brought you into business? Go work with them. So I did a message called Navigating Through Confrontational People. When you work with people, and they are constantly bringing confrontation. You have to know how to navigate through that. But in the business, you also know that your theory is what?
Three people.
This is the theory of success for our business model. It doesn't even matter. Let's not discuss product right now, what we sell. Let's not even go there right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't matter what you sell and don't sell. If you don't go ahead and produce the distribution network, nothing happens. So we all know Apple in the iStore or the App Store, etc., right? That is a distribution network. You get this? You know, I've been dealing with major food chains. One thing that I'm noticing, that they have distribution networks. I ran a record label that was distributed by Universal Music Group. They had a major distribution network. I was watching how that's made on Coca-Cola. How they actually get the pop in the can and how they make the can, the whole nine, the temperature, all that stuff has to be correct. And they duplicate it through 900 factories throughout the world to distribute the most liquids of anyone. 900 factories. Those 900 factories produce a product and then they distribute it. You cannot gain success without implementing your distribution network. Anything that does not come attached to a distribution network is linear. Do you get this? Whenever you are in a linear position, your income can be stopped. When you have a distribution network, that means your income can increase in every distribution lane, and it never stops. Our bodies have a heart, right? But when you look in there, I'm a little dark in tone with some of you. You see the veins. That's your body's distribution network. You get this? If you disconnect one of those veins without clogging it up, it kills the whole thing. So we have to recognize this when we say, hold on now, don't complicate the baby. 7 days. So you say, okay, I'm going to step out on faith. I'm going to go ahead and do $150. You may have to upgrade your network because here's my concept, and you've all heard it. What's $12.50 for 12 months? 150. So you want to connect with someone who is mature enough, old enough, and able enough to at least have credit for $150. A zero down loan is the best loan you can get. I'm gonna repeat that. Zero down, zero interest rate, not charged. That's the best loan you could ever get. You said, well, why do you call it a loan? Because put it on your credit card, and in 7 days, make sure you have your 3 people that do the same thing. 7 days later, the LP will go. So what you say? Okay. Now, you do this. 7 days later, you get back 150. What did you pay? No interest. But you have money growing. You can't see it, but money's growing to you. Can you get what I'm saying? Okay, now, the theory is 3 people. You teach them the theory and make sure they understand that the reality is going to be what they understand about the theory. If they don't stick to the theory, no matter what somebody else's theory is, because there's enough people with broke theories out here. So you have to sometimes just be shrewd and rude and say, no, that's not the philosophy that we go off of here, brother. We're going off of 3 people this week. Now, let me ask you an honest question, and I'm not trying to call you out, but do you have $150 on credit? That's a yes or no question. See, I'd rather a person say yes, but I just don't know if I want to do this. I respect them more. Because you can't posture up with people who want to create wealth with you. You have to be honest with them. You get this? If you are lining up in business with someone who's not being honest with you, then that is called manipulation. And if you are manipulated as you are growing and you're expecting them to hold up their end of the bargain, and you're doing one thing and the next thing you know, they're not even where they were supposed to be, they cut off the distribution network. So it kills time. You have to go back and start over. Y'all follow me? the theory is 3 people. The reality is going to be the actions. These 3 people follow the theory. It doesn't matter what we're selling. I just want you to understand the distribution network. So they go get 3. We know this. 9. Now don't let this be the tune that you done heard before, and all of a sudden you're like, that record's old now. You get this? It's like this is a new record because this is a theory that no matter what you do, if you would have followed this theory 7 weeks ago, the check coming to you on the 15th of December, or actually the January 15th check, will be different. Do y'all understand that? You are living the reality of your actions. I am living the reality of my actions, whether we like it or not. See, I'm very hard on myself. I go look myself in the mirror and say, are you happy with this month? And say, no. Well, it started 90 days ago. And I'm like, what did I do 90 days ago? And then I think about it, it's like, that was called the Freedom Conference, all this and that. We had a lot of people in the room. Everybody was given false hope and false promises based on their emotions. Then life hit. Y'all follow me? They adapted to other people's theories and understandings. You cannot even lend an ear to an outside conversation when you know what your theory is. I wrote a book about it, and it's called Who Told You You Were Broke? Because Eve lended an ear to the opposition of what the theory already was. You can eat freely, enjoy your life, just don't touch this right here. Don't even lend it an ear, because that ear that you lend to, or that voice that you lend that ear to, is only going to pull you away from the theory that you're supposed to be functioning under. So now you fall out because somebody else has a different prize looking thing. You know, you can do this and you can do that. So now you put that on hold, and then you go do that, and that's not working. Then you put that on hold, and you go do this, now that's not working. The next thing you know, you get it, you're like, how did we get here? It's like, go back 90 days ago. When did you say you do that? You got to remember how packed the training was. But what did I always say? I ain't going to see some of y'all. Because why? I've already been through it. I understand that people function off of emotions. But how people and companies make it is through strong men who are committed to the finish. Then, no matter what you put in, it comes out. And the word says, some 30-fold, 60, 90. That means whatever you put in, get it back multiplied by that fold. So, 7 weeks from now, if you believe the theory, then your conversation right now will be focused on 7 weeks from now. You have to speak life now versus, in the future, I know what it means. No, the future is actually now. The future you want is always how you see things now. I pull it up in a double R. You understand me? There's 2 R's on that vehicle. What y'all call it? Rolls Royce. I can get the Rolls Royce yet, so I got the other double R. So right now it's Range Rover, but in the future it's Rolls Royce. You get that? You have to be rolling the way you want now in your spirit, in your theory, how you take actions now, or you'll actually never have it. So people put safety measures on their feelings. I don't. I feel all the pain. When things don't go, we're nowhere where I thought we'd be right now. I want to feel it. If it's cutting me, I want to feel the cut, because that's what sharpens me. That's what makes me stronger. You know what I mean? I'm like, we're supposed to be doing more. Then I got a list of people and talk to me and say, now, why didn't you do it? What happened? Oh, we had this going on, that was going on, this going on. I'm like, but do you understand if we would have did that today, you wouldn't have to do it no more, you'd be done? I'm like, people like to work. They like the conversation of times are hard. They don't understand freedom. Y'all heard me say, when I made my first million, it was like going into a dark room, because no one had been there in my family before. So if we turn off all the lights, we've never been in this room before, and all these chairs are set up, we're going to be stubbing toes and everything. Just imagine, you got no shoes on, you're naked, and you're walking in a dark room because no one had been to that point. So you can't even get counsel from people. But then once you get to that certain point, you'll see stuff before others see it. Like, I've been there already. Man, you gonna do this? Just have a guy that called me all the time. Oh, y'all, all I need is 100,000 and we'll have 1 million in 2 months. So let me get this right. I'm gonna give you 100,000 of hard-earned money that I had to go and build a distribution network to make with real people. Then you're gonna put it into a distribution network that isn't really put together. And I'm going to get 1 million. Then later, just got off a conference call. I was wrong. It's 10 million. I give you 100,000. I'm gonna have 10 million in less than 2 months. Man, for real? You know what? I was inch away from doing it. And then I said, I'm about to make a $10 million investment into my own personal knowledge. I'm gonna say, you know what? I have the money, but it's not in my budget. I got to stick to my guns. But I tell you what, man, go get that first 10 million, man, and hit me back. This is a real conversation. 2 months later, I know you know like diplomats and government officials and all that. I'm like, yes, I do. Hang with them, have breakfast with them. I don't ask them for nothing. I'm just that cool black guy that they like to have around. They actually wanted me to run for office on the Republican ticket this last go round. Not, but it's fun to mingle and know what's going on, right? Said, I need you to contact one of them because my money's locked up in China. And I said, nah, I can't do that either. But now, do you know what I really just heard? This is why you're not getting your $100,000 back. Your money's locked up in China. See, I just got to stick to what I know. I don't know everything, but I know if I go get 3 people, you get this? And I tell them 3 people to go get 3 people. Somebody gonna send some checks. You get this? And it's in the United States of these Americas. So if you don't do it right, you go to jail in these United States of these Americas, and you don't need no government official to come in, because if you don't do right, the government official is gonna come in and you're gonna be like, no, don't come in. Do you understand the theory of success? Can't gain success without hard work. You go study Bill Gates, study Warren Buffett. Now, I'm not saying, big investments don't work, because I also, flip side, got a neighbor who, manages a $300 million portfolio, and I just kick it and coach kids football team with him the whole 9. I drill him for information also. Do y'all get it? But we are just simple people, right? We just got a little simple plan. We ain't asking for much. We're just telling 3 people to stick to the plan. But something happens when you stick to this plan. You get $5,000 a month, right? Is that the theory?
Yeah.
Now, let's just say, now that people are making this money, let's say you add one more product or one more service to someone else. Not somebody who's going to do the business, just turn on their service. We already know this theory. Then your income increases. So now you're at 10,000, right? So I just put 10K to keep it simple. Every time you turn on one customer, your income doubles. If it's 5, then you now make $25,000 a month. If it's 10, then you now make $50,000 per month. That's not counting bonus money or anything else. Do y'all get this? So we have to go back to what the theory is and stick to the theory. If people aren't following the theory, then we formed a nice group of people with hope. And it's like one of those small churches that eventually they'll start saying, it's not about money. It's not about this, it's not about that. And they'll start justifying why their ministry is not growing. I don't want you to justify why your business is not growing, because everything is based on the theory. If you do all the principles that align to the theory, then the theory of the results becomes your reality. You have to speak to people and say, you know what do you want out of life? Is it worth you bringing 3 people on? Remember, the 3 people should have a credit card anyway, right? So if you're dealing with somebody in this day and age and they just really don't even have a credit card, then it's like, I know folks with bad credit who went through bankruptcy and the whole 9, the day out of bankruptcy, 2 weeks later had a credit card, period. You get this? So it's like, no, it's impossible to meet someone unless they are totally unattached with creating wealth. That's the point that I want to bring to you right now. Some of you are spinning your wheels with people who want to just feel good, but they're totally unattached with the theory of being wealthy. So if they were attached with the theory of being wealthy, they would be here every Saturday. Matter of fact, they would meet you here. We wouldn't need to do reminders, we wouldn't need to do anything. So you have to be mindful and say, okay, this week, I'm gonna go out here different now. I'm in a dark room, I'm someplace nobody else has been. But now I gotta hear the voice because there's somebody else who's been through here. To say, hey, take a few steps, turn to the right. As long as you follow directions, you actually make it. In fact, this is the one industry that doesn't discriminate. A poor person in this business who got in with nothing to be the wealthiest person and have more calm, esteem, and respect than the person who's already wealthy. That's the beauty of a network marketing thing. And that's why you see some people try to diss it. You get that? That little lawn boy that used to be over there shoveling snow and doing all that and nobody took serious. Next thing you know, it's your neighbor is a millionaire. Well, how do you do it? Is it legal? I don't care about how you see it. Well, I've heard people do that. How they do it. It don't matter how they did it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't rob nobody. You know what I mean? You don't give me all your money. You didn't do that. You went and you showed that you know how to follow directions. And in fact, you showed that you have faith. Because when a person will go a whole week without getting 3 people, they're scared of something. You have to conquer your fear. You can't sit there and say, God, I know you're God and all that, but I'm afraid. Y'all go read the scripture on fear. You have to conquer the fear. It is your fear holding you back. Your fear is keeping you in a distressed state. Your fear is doing that. Not JMG Network. Not the person sitting next to you. Because when that person who normally sees you as a timid person sees you stand up and speak right and strong, they're going to look at you and be like, wow, I need to get in that business because you didn't normally speak like that. Y'all heard William when he said he wouldn't even come in front of the ring at one time. But then all of a sudden, and I can attest to it, he used to sit in the back and was kicking and he'd come. He didn't have to. That's why I admire and respect him. He didn't have to. I see people who are not even close to his level coming in and they don't even understand. He never said nothing. He just sat down. He'd ask a question about how the comp plan worked every now and then, or what's the best way of speaking to people, and then he'd just go do it. He didn't come in front of the room, or come pull me to the side like, I need to do this, I want to do that, I'm going to be at this level by this time. So you understand the theory of what a successful person looks like. Successful people observe. They sit back, they learn the system, then they go and apply what they learn. They don't come in, oh man, I'm gonna do that. That's what we do in the hood because we're broke and poor. So you gotta try to bluff everybody to make them think you ain't broke. We all was on welfare. We all lived in the projects, but everybody in the projects talking about how bad they are, right? Let's be real. I mean, you may not have been there, but I was there. And it's like, why is everybody in a broke neighborhood? Everybody talking about how I got it going on. I'm paid. I'm like, no, you live on this block. You don't live across the tracks over there. You on this block. But it's the pride. It's everyone's trying to run up each other. Guess what? We're not trying to run up each other. We're trying to help up each other. And it is different when you get with people who aren't used to being served. Now, This next Saturday, I'm just gonna say it when I told my heart, please don't embarrass us. And what I mean by that is, we are flying in people. I was buying airline tickets yesterday for multi-millionaires to come in. The foundation is to train and teach the engineer reps. We open the door and say, bring as many people as you want, because once they go through this, they realize that it's our organization putting this on, then they should want to be around you even more. And as I train Schedule for Success with the understanding of credit, tax, daily budgeting, you get it? I'm training my financial worth, intertwined with scheduling for success. Then I'm saying, you know, there's people around here, if you want, just get with them and they can get you signed up on this awesome service, and then I'm gonna leave it at that. Can you get it? Position any better for you? But if you're sitting there by yourself, you missed the goal. That's the one thing where you succeed and say, you know what, this whole row of 10 people, if I have to go ahead and succeed of $150 to get this row of 10 people who are not reps, bring in some of your old reps too, don't get me wrong. They need to be there. Don't let them miss Dr. Randall. The Window Apprentice, they can go. There's a Facebook page right now, facebook.com/Wealth Day. All of the videos I put up myself yesterday. So they can go and see. They can go and see Angela Ellerby. You know, this man, people don't understand. Mary J. Blige was really grimy. He's the one that was behind closed doors teaching her how to conduct herself to get ready for the majors. You get this? So he takes people from out of that little area of the projects and Mossy projects and where they lived at and say, okay, darling, you can't speak like that. You have to enunciate. You have to do this. And I'm just like, wow. All of that goes in before they go ahead and put you out for the public. Because what's the public going to do when you come out? They're going to judge you. They'll tear you apart. So if you got a guy whose track record in actually image consulting, marketing, and helping major stars be accepted, then that's going to even tell us how to conduct ourselves. You know, I had to learn that. I used to wear Timberland boots, hooded sweatshirts. I was Trayvon Martin. That was Paulie Jones. You know, I had the goatee on. I'm saying, you know, goatee, that was me. You know, I was a B-boy standing in my B-boy stance. That's who I was, daily. And one day it was like, man, the child to be a child of stance. Now you got to grow up. Same person, same thought process. I cleaned up. Then I started speaking better. When I started speaking better, people started listening. So when you had a theory, it's like, well, and we always report, they're not going to listen. Rockford Fairground Housing Projects. One thing I took my son this last Thanksgiving. It's a picture of him standing in front of the project unit we stayed at. You know, I took him to the little houses we were in too, and he's standing in front of them. It's my reminder of what we came. And I showed my uncle, he was like, yeah, y'all came a long way. And my mother, she went into tears. You know, because I got a picture of him on his four-wheeler in our yard. And she was like, man, you would have always treated stuff like that. She said, what you pray for you. Oh, I sent it to Brother Rocky. Yeah, that's it right there. Everybody can see it, maybe you can but that's my little dude standing in front of the project unit that we lived in. You know, so while I'm sitting here in Illinois housing projects, you know, I drove down there and here I am pulling in the neighborhood with the big Range Rover. I get out, kids instantly, and it's normal. They look at me, who's that? Tell the dude to come home, we stand in front of the stage, we take the picture. I walk around back and I showed him, I said, it's a hill behind here. And I said, we used to go sledding on cardboard. And I showed him how it was a community center. And they would get, you know, food and other produce in because, you know, you have your day that you can go in and they'll feed you, you know, when you're low income. So all these little programs. But we would get the boxes and then we would go get on these boxes and sled in the wintertime. So there's other kids down back there and they was playing football and all that. So he threw the football in there. He didn't pay no mind. But they don't realize it. And I told the guy that was out there, I said, yeah, I used to live in this unit. He said, oh, man, straight up. You lived here? I said, yeah. Man, it's good. I tell you, you're doing good. I said, yeah, I was showing my son where we came from, you know, and get him to understand and love where we are. You know, and then my mom was like, man, you know, those kids didn't know this little boy goes home to $1 million home. He has 3 acres of land. He swims in his own pool. We drove around where there's a little community pool, which looked tore up, now. And I'm like, man, you know what hit my heart? I want to go in and remodel. That's what hit my heart. I want to hook the pool back up. I want to go back to that same area and say, hey, I didn't stay here that long, but because I was here and I remember it, and like these other friends that was here that I played with and enjoyed, here y'all go. I want to send all the kids there to school. You get the difference? I got to get 3 people. I got to help you get your 3 people. See, I'm going to always have rich taste, don't get me wrong. All right? But I've made all right, and I got a track record of already helping kids go to college. But I know that mothers make mistakes, fathers make mistakes, life situations happen, people end up in the situations they're in. I want to be the guy to go in and say, I'm not going to judge you, I'm going to educate you. Y'all get the difference. So some of them, I won't go in and put them in Jamboree Network because they won't be ready mentally. We have to rehabilitate their minds that understand how to appreciate the food that's on their table. Then they'll get that desire and that belief and that hope to know that, you know what, I can do more, can I? Yes, now you're ready. But to go be a lawyer, you get the difference? To go be a judge, not be judged. You see, I've always said this. I want kids to not need lawyers. I want them to be lawyers. I want them to not be judged. I want them to be judges. Well, I can't do that with a broke philosophy of this is what needs to happen. I get into business. I team with other people like Chow Lei, and I say, let's go get our 3 people, and then let's go throughout the neighborhoods around the country and clean them up. That's why I even have a passion for William. He's not in the room. I understand and respect the treatment programs he has. I want to be able to sow seed because I understand that somehow these chemicals got into these communities, and we don't own planes, trains, and automobiles. But it got there in this area, and a person got addicted to it. So we need to clean it up. We need to show them love, but it needs to be done with no hidden agenda. So that means I already got rich taste, right? So we need to be that successful that we are helping children eventually before they can even falter into trouble, but they can even falter into drugs. Well, how do you do that? Is by the testimony of beings who have been through a system and came out and say, I used to do that. But due to this man and these other gentlemen, today I walk free. And then when they say, well, how did y'all make your money? You say, man, each one, teach one. 3 people. Y'all, let's make sure that you do your part for Wealth Day. I've done several calls this week with Antonio Vargas, Huggy Bear. Now, y'all see Everybody Hates Chris, right? He's also the store clerk. And there, for those who have forgotten, I'm like, the man is just cool. It's going to be great. S. Renee, I mean, they're all right now doing press today. They're on radio stations across the country talking about Wealth Day in Minneapolis. You know what's been the most disappointing thing? We did WBLS, the biggest station in New York. You know it's hard. The PR firm can't get a station here.
What?
Yes. People call me in the station in New York, like, when y'all gonna bring Wealth Day out here? And I'm just like literally, I get mad because it brings tears to my eyes. I'm like, well, you know what? What we have to do is we have to do some things grassroots. It's just the way it is. We need to have it so packed that the information from it, because you have all these multimillionaires coming to town, but I know what it is. They're black people. I'm gonna call it like it is. So therefore, WCCO will see, Fox 9 they'll see, NBC they'll see, even KMOJ. They trifling. We're supposed to be giving tickets away. It is trifling. Why? They more or less, well, it costs this, it costs that. And I say, I'm part of the junior community. I ain't making money that. Every ticket sale, I'm like, I'm hoping we pay some back. It's costing, I'll tell you, $12,000. So we business partners, right? I already have an overhead of over $20,000 a month. So you add that up. My overhead is already $20,000 plus a month. Just being real. And then you add another 12,000 in the month of December. Can you imagine? I slept on the couch last night. It was my choice, you know. But I want you to be mindful that I look at this and I'm like, how did we do V100 in Atlanta, Georgia yesterday? How did I do V? You're familiar with V100? How am I Antonio Fargas on V100 in Atlanta, Georgia? But we're not on V anything in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the actual event is. It's crazy, but I get to see things as an entrepreneur and a business leader who is not bashing politicians. See, I don't wait for somebody to get killed and then go through the neighborhood and say, well, this is what the politicians need to do. Actually, I'm saying, I don't need the politicians to do nothing for me. Come on, y'all, I'll show you how to do it. Oh, he actually gonna make us work. I'm not gonna make you work, I'm gonna show you how to work. You get the difference? You'll never see me out there just bashing politicians and what this and should have happened and that should have happened. I don't care if Republican, Democrat, or like. I'm gonna be like, well, now that you done did your boycott on a Saturday, idiot. I actually saw it, you know, they did a boycott on a Saturday. He was part of it. Who was at the Capitol on Saturday? No one. It didn't inconvenience anyone. Boycotts are to cause traffic jams to make people think of why are these people out here? What's going on? It's to cause attention. You see them out there with trio. Sorry, I'm like, yo, celebrate. You know, you saw Dr. King, they were walking and they were holding hands and they were singing old spiritual hymns. They were in prayer. I'm like, what you form a Saturday parade in the name of somebody who got shot last week? I'm like, if that ever happened to me, don't y'all be out there dancing? I'm like, why? That's the stereotype of you as a people in the first place. When all you got to do is grab 3 people, you got to ask yourself, why do we not speak to the 3 people? And if we do, why do we only stay at those 3 people? Even Jesus said, shake the dust off, right where they stand and go to the next person. I really hope Wealth Day is big, but it's for you guys. Everything is a setup for your success. None of my dreams and goals really happen without a large distribution network. Period. That's the way it works. Everything that is multiplied into extraordinary wealth, you can have basic wealth, but I'm talking extraordinary wealth. That takes multiple distribution chains. Y'all get this? You have to be at that next Saturday. You got to be in front, but you got to be there with your new people. They don't even have to be in a business. They need to just be there. So that way, when Dr. Randall Pinkett comes in, what if Wealth Day was today? How many people do you have coming? Let's fast forward. Or are they coming to an event with only 20 people? You know what I'm saying? I still got to dish out and say, some of them already got money. Airline tickets have to be bought. Hotels and all that for the whole day blackout. That ain't no $100 deal. You kind of get my point. Everybody needs hotel rooms. Everybody needs to eat Friday night. Everybody needs to eat Saturday morning. Everybody needs to eat Saturday at lunchtime. And everybody needs to eat Saturday evening. Then everybody needs to get to the airport Saturday night and Sunday morning. And here I am, so focused on Wealth Day that I scaled it on December 8th, little PJ's birthday. Well, I was on the couch last night. Y'all get it? I'm so far into this that I'm like, we can't afford to mess this up. And that's what I say, let's not embarrass each other. We have done something that has never been done in this city ever. This advertising, we're paying for it. They're just not going any further for what it really is. You know, if I was saying Mary J. Blige is coming here, everybody would be like, ooh. But if I say the guy who actually helped her image and be where she is today, who would you want to be? I want to see the creator. So it's like, okay, this guy's coming, but the guy that created the person is actually coming. You get that's a bigger thing. So Alicia Keys, all these people, I'm like, this is no small potato. That's Renee, who was at Cub Foods doing all of their image consulting. Do you get this? She was one of the youngest African-American women in a corporate setting. Now, if you understand women, not only are you a Black woman, but you at a major level on the corporate side, and you're young. And you kind of look good. Can you imagine what she really had to go through? You get what I'm saying? The male chauvinist, the how'd you get here, all that stuff. But she's faith-based. Dr. Randall Pinkett, all this education he has, but he went on The Apprentice and won. Then he had to go on and manage a $150 million portfolio. Newsflash, I've never managed a $150 million portfolio. So I'm even gonna be like, what you saying, brother, I'm listening. We have to see where we're going and bring people who have done things that not even I have done. You get this? Then obviously Scott's gonna come in and speak about wealth. Here's the funniest thing. On 11:30 a.m., the big conservative station, Scott Binion was there on our behalf speaking about wealth this morning. Now, like, that's the first interview in the Twin Cities, a non-urban station. Oh, I'm paying close attention. So next Tuesday, we finally got it set up with the slow movies at KMOJ. And next Tuesday, me and Antonio Vargas will be live on the radio there. And I'm like, that should have been last week. You didn't wait on calls to turn back, all of this. And I'm like, are y'all that unorganized? And brother, I can tell you, prior to that, I said, I'm like, they don't get it. That's a paycheck. That's not about making the community better. They're fine with whatever check they get. And that's fine. So I don't like no people teaching our people anymore. And I understand when I say our people, I'm talking blacks, whites. When you look, I sent moms to college. So I ain't never gonna be there. I'm just gonna have black kids. No, there are white kids who are inner city white kids that I personally wrote a check and they're in college right now. Some of them reach to contact me and I say, hey, you know what? You owe me nothing. God bless you. I just want you to go do well. Mr. Jones, I'm gonna pay you back. The only way you can pay me back is by succeeding. I want nothing. You're not going to curse my blessing. Do you get this? Mm-hmm. When I sow a seed, I'm like, don't come to me. I want to feel like, now I'm going to trap you and be like, that's manipulation, right? Well, I'm going to pay for your college, but then you got to come back and do something for me. No, I want you to go to your brother, your sister, your cousin that was next door to you and say something good was done for you at a young age. So now, I just want to, when I took that picture of little PJ in front of that project housing, I'm like, now it's multiplied. I want to do it more. I want to do it bigger now. I can't do it by myself. Greg, you got to blow up, man. You're the game changer. You get what I'm saying? You got to do it. I told you, you're young, man. Look at you, young in charge. Do you know how great the story is going to be when we say you're a 27-year-old millionaire and it's from serving to helping people? And that's the story. You know what I'm saying? That's the story. Wallace, you know how great it's going to be when we say this man is retired and made more money in his retirement than he did in the last 35 years of him working? I want that story. Yeah, we got to work for it, but I'll get in the trenches and work with you. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to play with you. I'm going to work with you. Some people like to do net play marketing. You always lose me with that. I don't take phone calls that ain't about signing up a record. Because you'll hear me interrupting a call and say, okay, good question. When can we meet with this person? Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, find out when we can meet with them and call me. It's like, other than that, when do you get me? Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Let's do it. Y'all get it? Let's pack the house the next day at Crown Plaza. Let's do everything we can to not go complain about. My point of telling you about KMOJ and all that is letting you know that I understand why this urban state of people in the Twin Cities are the way they are. It's because the so-called people who are so-called in charge are weak. And I look them in the eye and I tell them that. I buff them. I don't care. They'll lock them with me. I don't care if they're a pastor. I'll be like, no, I ain't got nothing to do with you. I don't like you. I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm not even paying for your food. But, right? I don't play with people like that. Why? I already know who my God is. And it's only one God. And when you've already succeeded, you could lose $1 million, but once you know how to make it, you can look at somebody else who's dangling the carrot and be like, I honestly, really, I was broke before I made the first million. So therefore, you'll never be on your last leg and think it's your last leg. You'll hear that tune, and you'll tune in, and you stay tuned in and focus. Some people will look at you like, what that fool do? That ain't gonna work. But you'll keep on going. And before you know it, they'll change their tune and say, well, I knew you could do it. You're like, yeah, of course. Guys, it's gonna be special. let's be real heroes. Let's go make a difference in our lives and other people's lives. From that point, y'all welcome Brother Chow Lay.
Everybody doing this morning? You know, I really hope you get what Paulie Jones is saying this morning, because wealth is not a color. Wealth is not black. Wealth is not white. Wealth does not look like the color of my skin up here. It's not short. It's not tall. It's a mindset. Now, does everybody in here have a mind? Does everybody mind? So this morning, I want you to wake up your minds. All right? I want you to look dead smack in my eyes. Antonio Lockett, I want you to look at me. Eye contact. All right? I want everybody to focus. I want everybody to acknowledge the fact that whatever you're not good at, you're not good at it. But it doesn't mean that you will not be good at it forever.
Right.
Okay? We will all work at this because, you know, Brother Lockett will tell you right away, the first thing you need to do with a problem is admit that you have a problem. Right? Chemical dependency, right? First step. When they walk in there, if they're alcoholic, they say, I am an alcoholic. They say their name, and then I am an alcoholic. If you're not a good listener, you're like, my name is Chow Lay, I am not a good listener. Right? We have 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. We need to listen twice as much. Some of us got kind of losing our hearing. So we need to listen even harder. Okay? Let's look at this real quick. If I say something, immediately you're going to have a response to it. Immediately. Well, you know, just talking about that. What is your response going to be? Right? What is it going to be? This morning, I want you, like, there isn't going to be anything thrown at you that you need to ponder for too long. I want you to just take in the information. If you have a thought about it, write it down. Even if you have a question, you can even raise your hand. At this session, with my session, you can raise your hand and ask me a question, all right? All right? But write it down first. And ask at the end, I'll go, any questions? And we'll go there. But here's the thing. Are you prepared? I'm not talking about planning this morning, okay? Planning is what too many people are doing right now, what they're going to do on the first of the year. I'm going to lose weight on the first of the year. Well, what are you doing now? Gaining weight? It doesn't make sense. Well, at the first, I'm going to make more money. So what are you doing now? You're losing money? It doesn't make sense. Are you prepared? I'm not talking about planning this morning. I'm talking about prepared. Because when someone says, you know what? I want to go to the gym and lift 300 pounds. Okay, I'm going to get 300 pounds. And then I'm going to put it on you. And I'm going to see if you're prepared. Are you prepared? That's as objective as it gets. I'm going to take $1 million right now and say, I'm ready for $1 million. Really? There isn't that much difference in $1 million and 300 pounds. I'm going to put it on you. And then see if you can handle it. And right away, you'll find out. If you can't put it up, it goes somewhere else. Because somebody needs to put up 300 pounds. Those 300 pounds need to be put up. You know what? Too many people thinking about themselves this morning. Everyone looking at me funny. Everybody looking at me funny. Those of you online, wake up this morning. Wake up this morning. These 2 chairs here, these 2 chairs can only be picked up with 1 hand. Who here believes that I can pick up these 2 chairs with 1 hand? Yeah, I'm that ripped. Who believes I can pick up these 2 chairs with 1 hand? Oh, you guys all. Why is it that you believe that I can pick up these 2 chairs with 1 hand?
Because you believe it.
Oh, you believe it, right? And right now in your mind, right now, you're envisioning that Chow Lay can pick up these 2 chairs with 1 hand. You're like, man, that man is just something else. Can I get 4 people up here, please? Now, I told you these 2 chairs can only be picked up by 1 hand. I never said that I was going to use 1 hand to pick my 1 hand to pick this up. I never told you that. Too many of you out there right now are thinking that these things in life, when you want to be wealthy, wealthy is a mindset. Wealthy is about leverage. Wealthy is about utilizing the resources around you. Gentlemen, with 1 hand each, pick up those chairs. I want you to see that right now. I want you to see that. Those chairs being picked up. Are you exerting much energy picking up those chairs? Now, if I picked up both those chairs by myself, that's something else, right? I probably should pick up these 2 chairs in 1 hand just so you can all be impressed. But you know what? It's also about humility. So, gentlemen, say, round of applause. Round of applause.
Take chair.
Do you see what I'm talking about? For the whole year now, I've been talking about relationships and utilize that. You hear me talking about my wife, you hear me talking about that. All I want to do is set an example, because the thing is, I talk about marriage all the time, about my wife, because too many people are talking about how they're stressed out about their marriages. You know, I love, so if it works for me, it should work for you too. So I constantly tell you about these things. But relationships, you know, they're indicative of all areas of your life. How I treat my wife is how I treat my business. How I treat my business is how I go about treating my, you know, my relationship with my son, about with my money. It's all of that. It's not just about that. So I'm asking today, are you prepared? And if you go, you know what? I'm not really good at listening. All right, let's start there. Let's start there. You should listen. You should listen. You should look at me. So when child's saying something, you shouldn't have 50 other thoughts going on that maybe contradicts what I'm saying. You know, or deviating, going somewhere else. Because what you're coming to training for this morning is you're asking, like, I want to be wealthy. I want to be wealthy. Stop having broke thoughts. They will constantly conflict with what I'm saying. They will constantly conflict with what I'm saying. Does that make sense? Because if you're going right and I'm saying going left, it doesn't really make sense. Do I need to go in a circle in order to go left? Like, no, you're taking too long. Just go like this. Who goes left going like this? Okay, now I'm going the right direction. Now I'm going. Do you see how silly that looks? But people do that every day. Every day. So this morning, compare and contrast. The compare and contrast, and we're going to break down. Does everybody get this? Can I kind of erase this for a little bit here? Erase this here. My child's been on too much sugar or something this morning. Yeah. I'm getting you this morning. I'm getting you this morning because let me tell you a little something. Let me tell you a little something that a lot of you already know. You know, people come together. I don't want people to come together this morning because what I see in this group is wealthy people. I want you to know that. When I look at you, I see a wealthy person. I want you to come together. I want us to come together. Too many times, I see catastrophes happen, then people come together. And then they misinterpret this whole thing where God says, you know, appreciate the little things that you have. You had a whole loaf of bread. Then you wouldn't think about each other, and you went and ate it all. And then a catastrophe happened, you have one little crumb. And then all of you get together and talk about how, you know what, we have this one little crumb. You had a whole loaf of bread, not just one little crumb. And then you try to lift 2 chairs all by yourself, constantly. And then you try to lift 3 chairs all by yourself, thinking that was wealth. It is a mindset. I don't want you to get rich once and then break your back lifting 2 chairs by yourself. Does that make sense to everybody? Come together this morning. Come together. Listen. Be a real good listener this morning, all right? Demonize versus utilize. Demonize. Because when those catastrophes happen, everyone comes together and talk about that one little crumb, right? And then go, oh, you know what? Maybe that wealth thing really wasn't, you know, what we wanted. You know, this is what we really should concentrate on right now because my relationship with you is what's important. I don't need a whole loaf of bread. This one piece of crumb here that's keeping us both hungry is what it's all about. You know, God said, you know, that money is the root of all evil. Misquoting everything. Do you see what I'm saying? Stop demonizing it. Your credit and all that. Oh, I don't need, I don't really need any credit. You know, you don't need any credit, but you want to be wealthy. You want to leverage, but you don't have any credit. Let's build on that. If the situation is my credit isn't great this morning, let's start there. Okay? We're all about building. We're going somewhere together this morning. All right? Stop demonizing the things that you want. Stop demonizing it. Oh, you know, that neighborhood I go over there, people over there are all stuck up. Why do they put a gate up anyways? Why do you put a gate up? What am I going to just take their things? What are you talking about? If you have kids and there's crime around, put a gate up. That's what common sense, right? It's like it's a little extra protection for them, you know? And then why is it that when you walk up just on the other side of that, taxes are higher? Oh, I don't want to go over there because taxes are higher. Why? Because it keeps the neighborhood nice and pretty. The reason why your grass is brown is because you don't want to pay taxes. Stop demonizing the things that you want. Utilize your resources. Who was distracted and didn't see 4 people walk up here and pick up chairs that could only pick up with one hand? Utilize your resources. I had so much belief that those 2 chairs could be picked up with one hand that immediately I was like, I'm not going to think about the obstacles I'm going to think about who I can utilize in this group. I knew I only needed 4 hands. There's more than 4 hands in here. Here I'm like, it's not enough. I'm not going to try it. Forget it. Utilize your resources. If you want better credit, utilize My Financial Word. Utilize your resources. If you don't know how much money is leaving you each month, utilize My Financial Word. Utilize your resources. If you don't know how to file your taxes, who cares? Utilize My Financial Word. Utilize your resources and then learn along the way. Because, open up a book and guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? All right? You're going to start analyzing and then paralyze yourself. Because a lot of it you don't understand anyways. You need somebody to translate things to you that you understand. You open up. I'm not saying don't read. Charlie McMorgan in training said don't read. I'm not saying that. Paralysis by analysis. It's so common in the business industry. If you want to learn something, call someone up that knows it. We have 24/7 customer service. Utilize your resources. And we're looking at this. Oh my goodness. Indecision. Indecision versus identity. Indecision will kill you, will occupy all of your time. Indecision will take up your time so much that you can't even do bad things. You get to do good things. You'll sit there and do absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's what happens. Paralysis by analysis. You sit there and you look and you look and you look. You see all these things coming. All these things, and you're trying to account for absolutely every single thing. And you're like sitting there, he goes, man, now how do I get by this? Maybe if I did this, then okay. But then when I get there, I'm gonna encounter this. Now how do I get that? Okay, no. But then when I get there, I'm gonna bump into this. Now how do I go with that? And then he goes, there's so many things I don't even have it. I'm gonna sit here. And then you spend the whole day occupying doing absolutely nothing because you figured out how to do nothing. Because if I did this, I would run into this. Not acknowledging what in the world's around you, utilizing that. Now identity, right now. Some of us here go at home and have a hard time looking at yourself in the mirror. Have a hard time, right? You need to stop that. You need to stop identifying yourself by what you do as a job. Identifying yourself as these roles that society gives you, and start realizing right now who created you. I know in my heart right here that I'm a child of God. Right there, and boom! I know what comes along with it. You've heard William Lockett say that. I'm saying right now, I'm getting goosebumps up right now. I was like, I know that is so nice. That chair is so nice. My kingdom is so great. Yes, do you guys see that? The reflection. You're looking at the wrong mirror here. You're holding up society like this. Do you know how long I was saying? Do you think that I could speak like this in front of the room all the time? This is my voice. It's always been my voice, but it's been crippled for so many years because, back there you see Antonio Lockett having GQ pulled up. GQ said I need to look a certain way, talk a certain way, right? Cosmo said that you needed some makeup on your eyes and lips this certain way. Your hips need to curve this way, and you need to sway that way in order to look good, feel good. Well, I'll tell you what. If you search for your identity in that, you're going to get lost because it changes constantly. But there's only one. There's only one creator. There's only one. So how many times can that change? Do you get my point? You need to start realizing who you are. And when we say have faith and belief and walk in that, walk in that. Oh yeah, I'm getting something this morning. This group's coming together. That was my goal coming in here. We're coming together this morning. Your goal, okay? Your goal. Can everybody see that? 1 point to another. Your goal. Like water. I'm talking about cash flow. I'm talking about wealth, cash flow. Have you guys ever seen a river? A goal, water. Where it starts and where it finishes. That's the goal. That's where you are, your oasis. You're going out there. You're going back out to the ocean. All right? To greatness. To join everybody else that's great. And I tell you what, there's a lot of people that are great. How big is the ocean? Try to imagine it. Occupies your entire mind. Trying to figure it out. There's tons there. That's where you want to get back to greatness. To where if someone tries to peer pressure us, we come as a wave and take them over. They want to corner us. They want to corner us. You know what? You guys keep arguing. I'm just gonna go to my door. You go to my corner. You put me in there. Beyond that is greener pastures. You know, where wealth, where abundance is all that. Where I don't need to be concerned about bills or all that. My lifestyle is just phenomenal. That's a good corner you put me in, because that corner leads to where I want to go. The corner of greatness. Meet up with the rest. The body of water. You guys get that? Go. But here it is. You start. You start. And a lot of people see that right away. Oh, yeah, water carries all the way back. You know, the clouds can't make it over the mountain. They dump it up there. And that's where water is. It changes form. And then you're sitting on the other side going, look at this mountain. I can't climb a mountain. I can't climb a mountain. Who am I anyways? You know, GQ and Cosmo says this. So I can't even climb this mountain. Forget that. So you're even stuck on the other side. You haven't even started that. But you forgot. I told you were water this morning. You're water. You changed into 3 different forms. 3 different forms. Oh, yeah, we're going biblical on you this morning. 3 different forms. At one time, they told you you couldn't fly. Now you see you buying boarding passes, getting on flying across the sky. At one time, they said that communication couldn't go across the sky. But now it goes across the sky into your phones everywhere. You must be a bunch of wizards and witches up in here. You know? They hum people up. You know? They tie you to a log and throw you in the water if you start talking like that. But today it happens. Streams of income. I don't want to jump around too much. That's why you have to brand yourself. You are the business. William Lockett, Inc. Greg Creedy, Inc. Oh, Brother Swade Wallace, Inc. Back there. You know? That's it is. Because with the flow of information that's going around, you know, you can build you up as big as you want. But if you're not consistent, you know, Twitter and Facebook's going to tear you up in a heartbeat. But then he goes, oh, I don't want to do this too hard. But look at this. Then you start flowing, right? You start moving. You go up, and you start going down, and you start trickling down this little stream. And you're going, and you're going. You don't think about it, because this is what's in your mind. I'm going to join that. That's always what's on your mind. That's it. I'm going to join greatness. I'm going to join greatness. All of that, you're not stuck back here. You're not stuck at start. You're going to start that. Little steps. You're not a raging river yet. You're not a raging river. You're like that. That's the goal. But here's the thing. As soon as people start, this is what they think all the time, that smooth process. Straight line. From there to there. Right? From there to there. I'm not blocking it out. We start to finish. You think that? Straight line. Straight line. Guess what? When you're working, it might seem like a straight line. But the thing is, the process there. Somebody cuts you off. And you're like, oh, how dare you cut me off? How dare you cut me off? I'm sitting here trying to get on this freeway here to go to my road to success, and you just cut me off. You threw me off. I'm gonna stop. I'll be late anyway, so I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go. You go there, you know, you go there, you get all happy and everything, and you go past the speed limit, and then pulls you. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I was going on my road to success, and I was going 3 miles over the speed limit. And this guy back here decides to hinder me from my success, you know? And then some of you are using maps that don't work and won't stop to ask for directions. And it's like, I knew it, this road for success here. I always saw it as a straight line. How can you get lost? I don't even need this map. I know all of Minnesota. Been around since down of age. I ain't left. Let me tell you what. When you finally make it and you look back, when you finally make it and look back, it's more, I'm talking about water in this river, right? Can you take a picture of this river? What do rivers do? They meander, right? They meander like this. They meander like this. Do you hear a river complaining? Ever. Ever. It hits a rock. Some of them work on it for years. It eventually just bulldozes that rock over, but it's consistency over years. But for the most part, you know what? I got flow. I got things I need to do. You know, shake it up. Be flexible. That's why you get on the dance floor and everybody's like, what you do? I'll tell you what, I can't really dance. I just like moving around. You know, I'm like the energy flowing like this. I get on the dance floor like you, like, chow, dance, like, yeah, ding, 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 ding. I have rhythm though, so then I'm like, boom. So then I just move with the rhythm. I'm like, look at chow, he ain't like a fool. He dances so well. I'm like, that's called dancing. That's called dancing. Ballroom dancing has instructions, so that's a different thing. All right, that's a different thing. I like some ballroom dancing. Right? But everything else, it goes that way. So You go in there. There's no excuses here. Eliminate them all. When you think this morning and you want to do, oh, we're going to do some exercises this morning. Okay? We're going to do some exercise this morning. No excuses. No excuses. Only that goal. Yeah, that's all you see. That's all you see. That's what happens. I want you to work with me here. It doesn't stop. It keeps flowing. It keeps meandering. So then over here, right? I'm going to tie this all together today. So I need you to really listen, to open, to receive the information, right? So if it meanders, it's going to look like that. Right? Right? Stop thinking of other things. I know you're like, look at that flowing the thing, like, what are we, like, impregnating an egg or something going on this? Like, stop having your mind jerked everywhere. Stay with me. Stay with me. Right? So success looks like that. It's not a straight road, right? It kind of goes like that. It's going to go like that. And you're moving over. And people aren't confused. We'll use green for wealth. That says wealth. Back at home, you can't see it. Wealth. 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 That is your goal. We're going to join greatness today. We're joining greatness today. Welcome. It's January 1st, 2013. Every single day of your life. Every day of your life. Because every day should be a new year. Every day should be that commitment. Every day should feel like a weekend. Liabilities versus assets. I'm flipping things around this morning. Usually you see assets, liabilities. Assets, liabilities. Okay? All right. Do that. Draw a line straight down the middle. We're going to go with this. We're going to go L for liabilities and A for assets. What is a liability? Too much sugar. All right. It's naturally produced in my body all the time. You just need to excuse that. What is a liability? I'm going to tell you. Very easy. Something that takes money away from you. Can you just remember that? Liabilities. For less. Takes money away from you. What is an asset? Adds money to you. You're going to pull out a book and it's going to give you all these definitions, all right? Paralysis by analysis. Then you're going to start identifying. Remember it that way. Liabilities take money away from you. Assets put money in your pocket. They put money in your pocket. So, in your minds, we're going to learn something this morning. All right. Can I have some examples of liabilities?
Yeah. Car.
Help me out.
Boats.
Bad debt.
Boat.
Huh?
Boat.
Oh. Anything else? We got 3 up there. Assets. Can you see some assets?
Investments.
Investments. Can you get a little more specific?
Real estate.
How many? Oh.
Land. Commodities.
Commodities. Apparently, everybody means gray. Go there. Okay. Liabilities, assets. I want you to remember that. Where did we learn this from? Walk back and forth. Just drag it. Where did we learn this from? Is it
Business. School.
business, school, life, and all that? You picked it up. Have you ever referenced any of them?
No.
Why? Didn't see them before.
Except that it is true.
Except that that's true. Okay? I want you to contemplate that real quick. And why is that when we encounter the 5% in the world that you want to be like, learn information from, you pull up all this information inside your own mind. When I asked you right off the bat, what's liability, what's an asset, identified it, and gave me these things. And then your mind constantly fights with those who are doing everything they can to educate us so that we move forward. Financial network. That's what our company is. My Financial Worth, JMG Network. What is it? What is it, right? What is it, right? I'm not saying don't go and read. Read and study. Improve your minds. You should know what a liability and asset is. The most important thing that I ever learned in business, one of the most important things I should say about liability when it pertains to liabilities and assets and all of that, it's like, it's not just about that. It just falls into the category, okay? It just falls into the category. Over here, your biggest asset is you. Your biggest liability is you. Let me tell you what. It's not about the object that you see, because things in this life are temporary. Wow, what have you heard this before? Don't invest in worldly things. Don't look after worldly things. Where have you heard that before? Those of you who know. I mean, you're starting to go, whoa, where is this going? Where is this going? That leg starts shaking, you know, all that. Where is it going? Where's it going? It's not about those things. It's about the deal and what comes with it. And you have the tools to figure that out through my financial work. Let me show you how these things can be interchangeable at any given time. Any one of these things, based on you. I'll start on this side. A car. You realize you go out and buy a $250,000 car? You think, oh yeah, well those things go down. Those things go down in value. I never said that the car is worth $250,000. What if you bought a $500,000 car for $250,000? For the short term, is that a liability or an asset? For the short term. For the short term. For the short term here. Couldn't something that you just everybody wants it for a $500,000. You have it for $250,000. Oh, that's like I'm driving around $500 million at any given time. I can cash out and be profit $250,000. $250,000. It's about the deal. What comes with it? What comes with it? Are you buying the car at $600,000 and it's only worth $500 because you really want it, sunk into your principal, and it's going down slowly? You know, no. It's about the deal. What comes with it? What comes with it? Bad debt. How do we turn that into good debt? Okay? Because people associate debt being bad. How about I just take out the bad part and just call it debt so you see it? Debt, you know, the debt. You only see debt. What happens if you're getting like the debt and you're getting interest rates right now? How is it like 3%? Prime about what, 3 and a quarter? You know, so it's a prime, your prime interest rate. Everything's built off that. Banks go your prime, not overcomplicated, but you should look at what prime interest rate is right now. So when you see your credit card statements and your houses and everything, and they say 3 points over prime, 4 points over prime, your prime interest rate, look it up. Go ahead and Google it when you get home. Write that down. Prime interest rate. You should know that. You should know that. All right? Because where we're going, you need to know that. So debt. What happens if you get a loan out for 6%, but then whatever investment it is, ABC investment, pays you 10% a year. This thing is 6%. You're making 4%. So is that debt so bad anymore? Or is it just debt? And you're managing it the way it's supposed to. And then you're reducing it each year. Reducing it, you just start paying that off, right? To where now instead of making 4%, the difference between 10% and 6%, right? You start paying that down to where it doesn't exist anymore, and you make 10% a year. Is it so bad anymore? So is this, you know, does this debt here become a liability to you? Or in this whole realm of things, in economics, it's like, you know what, that's really an asset because without it, I couldn't leverage it to get that investment. Think about that real quick before we start just naming everything and demonizing and putting in a box where you don't utilize that resource. The boat, same thing with the car. Same thing with the car. It's worth $500,000. You went and got it for $250, and any given day you can sell it for $500,000. You know, it's pretty good. Oh, now it's gonna hit home. Literally hit home because the first thing on there is home. You learn from somewhere that home is the greatest investment you can make. Our mommies and daddy bought homes, paid super high interest rates. You think 3%? You're like, we're jumping for joy right now. But at one time, I saw interest rates at 14, 15%. You know, down payments, like it's like they save up everything for that down payment and then just banked on the fact that piece of real estate was going to go up. Homes. So then everybody at all costs, whether you thought you could afford it or not, jumped in and got those homes. What happened? Now I ask you, was that an asset? Or did that rip away all money? For some people it was all money that they had in their pockets, had in the savings, had in the nest egg. Is that an asset or liability? It's become a liability. Land, same thing. Commodity, same thing. What's common on both sides? You. Who made that decision? You. It's not about the worldly things here. It's about what comes with it. You need to ask yourself that. You need to be able to look yourself in the mirror and look at yourself and see yourself for who you are. Great. So what comes with you if it's not great? Don't want it. Don't want it. Okay? Different than liabilities. What does it do? Asset. What does it do? Okay. Who makes that decision? You. All right. That's it. Everyone get out your pens and pads and everything, because this really different than all this scribble and everything. And as you're doing that, I'm just gonna go. See that cash flow quadrant? That's what you're gonna do. See that? You're dilly-dallying in that. I do my little squiggles there, and they work too. And you start going down to self-employed, and then you start going to big business, and you go down to investments, and you go, but then guess what? You remember that goal that I put up there? You join, the oasis of greatness, that ocean of greatness. What was the first picture? Wasn't it the same picture? It starts all over again. That's why I say it's a goal. It's not the finish line, it's the goal. You get there, then you start all over again. And then you go through that process towards something else. Because when you start a business, is it okay if I utilize you as a resource this morning and go with that? When you started out your business, weren't you an employee in your business? Right? We're still an employee? And then when you said, you know what, how much do you get paid? And you went out, didn't you start your business? You start your business, but you kind of both because nobody else really know how to manage it, right? And then you were really both. You were stuck there all the time, working day and night. No one pays you overtime. At least there, they paid you overtime for the most part. Here, you were a slave to yourself all the time. All right, and then you went through some tough times, started changing, getting stronger, getting prepared, and then now you're scaling up. Your dream is, you're gonna scale this up. What happened then? You started buying your time back. Then you step away from it a little bit, right? And you're there. Because you want to be there when you don't have money getting other investments. As you're stepping away, doing other things to build the system. Do you have people in your life, without identifying names, do you have people in your life that go, the boss doesn't do enough? I never see him! I should be running this place. Do you see why here you will not, don't forget that, you will not, because you will not demonize this side if you want to be on this side. You worked all the way over here to leverage all these things. So you appreciate this side tremendously because you know what you did to get there. But these folks over here have never been on this side yet. We are on this side, and if we haven't gone this side yet, we don't even know what to appreciate. So at least respect it. Stop asking silly, rote questions, follow instructions to get there. To get there. I mean, here, if you feel like I'm punching the gut this morning, I am. Sometimes I say I'm not, I am. Really am, because you can't think now, can you? Now listen to what I'm saying or another one's coming. Listen to me now. Do you get that? The things you want. Everyone got their paper and everything. So I'm going to erase this here. I'm going to erase it. So You still don't know what you want. Because when you look in the mirror, you haven't seen greatness yet. You haven't seen that ocean. You haven't filled all your mind yet. You're working through the whole thing. And you keep thinking that what you want is always an object. But it's not always that way. But we'll go. All right, so things that you have. So we'll put up here for tab. Is there anything that somebody wants like that is their goal? I'll go with them, because I know this one immediately. What is one thing that you want? I don't care what it is. Car, house, whatever it is.
Bigger house.
Bigger house? Okay, bigger house. I mean, how many square feet is this house?
10,000.
10,000. You know what? Did you take it in my book? Anything else? Anything else? 10,000 square foot house. We'll come back to that. Anything else? A specific car? Anybody have a specific car?
Maserati.
What's that?
Maserati.
Maserati. Is there a specific Maserati?
Convertible.
Convertible Maserati. All right.
Aston Martin DB9.
Oh, DB9. All right. One more thing. Let's go with one more thing. It's like things coming in threes. Just makes me feel like I'm doing something right. Threes. One more thing. Vacation home. Oh, vacation home. Vacation and home. I'm gonna make my vacation in my home. Go ahead. You can write down just have. All right. Because the thing is, when I ask you what you want, your mind kind of drifts everywhere. It's like, it's not just that. Because look, we like to do things too. We like to do things so right here. I don't go like that. Because this is a thing. Whereas when we go down here and we're doing, right? We going on vacation. Where are we going?
Fiji.
Africa.
Oh, okay. I'm taking time to write these things down. So if you're not writing these things down, I know there's something you want to have. I know there's something you want to do. If you can't figure out, that's okay. And at least have it there so you can write things down later, right? Africa, Fiji. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, taking me to Africa, you might. I'll probably make National Geographic. I'm gonna go native and grab a spear and go. Stop it. What else do you want to do? What else do you want to do? Well, you can't talk anymore. All right, basically. Oh man, there's so many things I want to do. But Fred, what do you want to do?
Go see Europe and go to Africa.
All right, go to Europe. We're going to go to Europe. Beverly, what are we doing? What are we doing? You want to take it? Did you figure that Beverly was going to say skydive? The things you learned today, right? Skydive. See, this is why it's important, online world, for us to drive this company so that we get our media center, because you can start tweeting me all these things and be involved in this too. All right, so then look at this. B. Things you want to. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better wife. I want to be a better dancer. I want to be a better skydiver. I want to be a better vacationer. Right? There's things you want to be. There's things you want to be. So, you're letting me talk now. What do you want to be?
I want to be financially free.
Ooh. Financially free. Somebody else. Financially free. That's nice. Village. Huh? Oh, we want to be healthy. We want to be free. Hey, Greg. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be?
More charismatic.
Okay. All these things. What are you going to do about it? Things you have, do, be. This is going to help you figure out what you want and why you want it. And then tomorrow, you know, and then tomorrow, what is that going to look like? Today, what are you going to do? So tomorrow looks like that. Take a 10,000 square foot house, you're going to plan all these things, all these things, all these things. But how do I just do this? 10,000 square foot. How much does a 10,000 square foot house cost for your 10,000? What's the cost? About $2 million. And the things you and I know about credit or leveraging or contracts and deeds and things like that, right? Most people want about 10% down, right? Most people want about 10% down. So then you're talking about down about $200,000, right? And then when do you want it?
2 years.
2 years from now? Can we make it a year just that it's closer?
Well, it takes time to build.
Oh, it takes time. It takes time to build, but 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. 2 years, 1 year. Just so you feel like it's more time. Eh? 1 year. 1 year. $200,000. 1 year. Some people keep thinking, $2 million, $2 million. I'm saying William Rocket thinks that. But we do that, don't we? $2 million. Oh man, it's forever to get $2 million. No, I told you $200,000. What tomorrow? What tomorrow? What tomorrow you just put away $50? What if tomorrow you just put away $100? What if tomorrow you just put away that? Or put it into a system that's going to kick that out so you have $200,000. So you can get your house. $200,000 is a little more reachable, right? $20,000 is a little more reachable, right? You need to make $20,000 10 times. Or $2,000 200 times. But that's more reachable, right? So how many people around you, the resources that you have, can you dip into 200,000? It's like I had those 2 chairs up front. I got 4 people, but then I got 4 really little people that really aren't that strong, and I actually need 6 people because one hand they need to lift it up a little more. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Do you see what I'm saying? Because our networks can change really fast. You know, because if I go, look, I'm gonna get a house. Okay, I'm gonna talk investments this morning because this is where we're going, right? It's a $2 million house. He said it's $2 million house. The cost to it is $2 million house. Who said it's not worth $3 million? So we go to somebody and we say, hey, and I have this house, and you already see my history with this house. Can I get $200,000, put it down, and build my house today, so that a year from now I have my 10,000 square foot house. It's gonna be worth $3 million. So if I do something that isn't kosher in your mind, take the house. Pocket $1 million, because at any given day, people are buying for $1 million. Just things like just actionable steps that's gonna take you to it. Maserati, anything. What can you do today that can get close to that? I'll give you some ideas. Go jump in it. DB9, jump in it. You can test drive it once a day. Nobody gave a limit to how many times you do it. So that you can say, I drive a Maserati every single day. Every single day. Who told you can't run an errand when you test drive a car? Who told you? Seriously, you guys hear that? Who told you can't run an errand when you test drive a car? Has anybody told you that? Have you asked that question? Do you need to ask that question? They never said you couldn't, right? Oh, Greg's like, oh, I pulled up to that girl's house. Well, like, you came back. I just told him, like, there's no limits to test driving a car.
No.
Every single, yeah. And I also said that nobody said you can't run an errand when you test drive a car. They never say come back in 10 minutes, do they? Right? No. I prefer. I say I like driving my car alone. You want me to buy this car? I'm driving alone. Every day. Oh, let's have fun with this. This is the life we want. Let's have fun with it. Right? We're coming together here. You see that? Vacation home. Same thing. Things you want to do. Vacation. Do you know how much it costs? Most people go, oh my goodness, going to Africa is like all the money in the world. Like, no, I'll tell you right now. I'm pretty sure you can go on there on a lot of vacation. $2,000? Want to get you there, get you some resort and just experience the thing. You want to have a better vacation? Up the ante. Increase it. Same thing with all these things. Things you want to be financially free. So what number is it for you to be financially free? Well, I'm talking about a lot of time, $100 million. I'm just going to put that out there. $100 million. But what do you do? Just because this $100 million right now, you and I both know it's a system. You're not going to do yourself $100 million every single day. Okay? What are you going to do today that tomorrow your system is better? Just one thing. One thing. What are you going to do today that tomorrow it's better? In this business, people, healthy. Healthy. Hostess is going away. You can put that 20 down. They're not making it. The ones left is there. Everything. You want to be more healthy? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do today? You know? Oh, you're gonna go work out. Maybe you're thinking about going to the gym. Let me tell you something. I'm the first. You come up and take up my gym space and sit there and think about getting ripped. You have a problem. I don't have a problem with going. Are you working out? You need to sit up and go. That's just it. I don't have a problem with that. Don't take up the space. But what are you gonna do today? Because you haven't joined the gym yet. What are you gonna do today? I bet you're talking on the phone, man. I'm not gonna minimize the time you spend on the phone. Can you walk when you talk? Can you walk when you talk? How many hours a day are you on the phone? Whether it's for business, whether it's anything else. If it's conversations where you don't need to think, but you need to think creatively, business owners, when you think creatively here, walk. Walk. If it's 15 minutes, you took a 15-minute walk. Probably walked a mile. You say walk a mile in my shoes? Yeah, we're doing business. Okay? Charismatic. I'll tell you right now, Greg Creedy already told me this morning. He goes, you know what, I smile more. And my first response was, it's kind of difficult, isn't it? It takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown. But the thing is, if you frown all the time, you haven't worked out your smiling muscles. So when you go the other way, it's like, and you look funny for a while, right? Because you're really trying. You're like, meet somebody like you. Like, but then sooner or later, you're like this, all the time. It's like, it takes more energy for me to go than to go like this. So I just choose to go like this because it's less energy. Have, do, be. Excuses versus reason. Excuses. I'll tell you right now, so we're ending with this right here. We're ending with this. I'm erasing this because I hope you guys took notes. Have, do, be for yourself, all right? To help you with more balance, complete life as you plan things. Actionable steps to get there. I'm not losing it, right, Antonio? We're all staying together this morning. That's the sign and stretching and stuff.
It came out. So.
Yeah, new marker and everything. I'm drying this thing out. Drying my throat too, matter of fact. That's nice. Excuses, reason. Substituted for a lot of things, isn't it? Excuses, reason. In business, expenses, receivables. Put the A and R together, accounts, receivable. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. How all these things just come together, Excuses, reason. Excuses stop you. Reasons drive you. Why is it that you need to eliminate your excuses? If you're a river getting over, water flowing down there, getting back there, why do you get rid of your excuses? Because they stop you. Reasons drive you. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't mean to write that on that side. Just go like that. Can you look at that in a different light? Maybe today. Those of you online, you can't see that, my marker and all that. I just wrote our system up here. It's the 1, serve 3, serve 3, serve 3, serve 3, serve 3, serve 3. Yeah, I know. That mind's going everywhere now. I've seen this before. Serve 3. You're trying to get your 3. Serve 3. I don't have my 3. Serve 3. 3 people want to get to greatness as well. Solve problems today. Solve problems today. Okay? How come problems are always around you? Problems are always around you. Are you a problem solver? Or do you live in those problems? They're always around. If you ask right now, I want to get stronger, problems will come your way. Because you solve those problems, you get stronger. You get better. Serve through it. I ran out of coffee. Don't worry about it. I got coffee in my house. Ran out of coffee. Don't worry about it. I'll go get you a bag. I'm not sure if I have enough gas in my car. Don't worry about it. Gas station's right over there. Let's get away from all the thing. Where we're going. Where we're going. It's like, hey, do you know how to get to Africa? It's like, I don't, but I know a person who does. Let me make the call. Let me make the call. Hey, I'm having some troubles at home. What's your problem? Can I help you out? Yes, there's problems around all the time. And you don't know which door opens up. You can't go right in and say, you know what, you have financial problems. I have my financial worth. Let me help you out. We know that problem is just everywhere, epidemic right now. We know it is. But which door opens you up to talk to the person? Are you going to truly serve somebody this morning, today? I can't reach the top shelf. Chow, you know what? Here's a ladder. Stop asking people. Have fun. Help people. Serve people. Solve those problems. And I promise you, these doors will open up because eventually, do it without expecting anything. But this is the way life works. They're going to turn around and go, hey, can I help you out with something? I can only help you out so many times with something before you go, you know what? Try to be sending them egg rolls and all over. You know what? All those things will stop staying in your mind. Every time you have a problem again, wouldn't it be nice every time someone had a problem with anything, they associated with you with it in a positive manner and you were the solution? That's my point. Get to be known as the person that gets things done. With that being said, everybody welcome to the body.
Charlie, let's give it up for Brother Child. Now, I say this often. We don't communicate and go over our trainings. And y'all gonna see today exactly what I'm talking about. Because Child just did my training. I'm sitting there thinking like, well, what am I gonna say?
Let's go home.
Pretty much. I'm not gonna be here that long. But this is what I want. I had set these up here. Because I normally don't put 3 glasses of water up here, but I wanted to use this for illustration. See, this water is confined by this glass. True?
Mm-hmm.
So this water would never realize its true potential confined to this glass.
Yeah.
But then I, thought about it, and until I consume this water. See, I see that a lot of us, are confined by our lifestyle, confined by certain or our present conditions. But until you actually apply yourself and put yourself in a new environment, you'll never truly realize your full potential. Now, as I drink this water, now this water becomes part of me. So now it takes on a new form. So it's life. So as I drink water that gives me life, and then as I live my life, that water has now expanded on its potential. Because now it's being transformed into a different form. And that's how your JMG business is that until you actually step outside your comfort zone, as we often speak of, and begin to deposit in somebody else that now takes that deposit and then they deposit, now you begin to reinvent yourself and expand yourself. And as we talk to people that are so confined to their life, meaning that they don't see themselves doing anything different other than going to their 9 to 5, sitting on the couch, they'll never transform themselves and expand themselves. Just like this donut here. I definitely ain't gonna eat it. Just like this donut. Even though it's unhealthy, But if I eat it, consume it, now it transforms and becomes fuel to allow me to do other things. So that donut has even contributed to me. Now that donut gets credit for the things I go out and do. So as I said, childhood already went over my training. So what do you want? What do you want? Child just had us sit down and write down the things that we want. But I need you to actually begin to conceive in your minds truly the things that you want. What is it that you want out of life? What is it that you want out of your JMG business? Because you have to get to the place where what are you willing to do to get it? Because if you say that you want to be successful in your JMG business, but you're not out being charismatic, speaking to people, and you're not out like this water depositing yourself into other people, you're not going to achieve what it is that you want. So if you are out there speaking to people and you're not seeing, maybe you're speaking to the wrong people. But as we are entrepreneurs, we have to constantly be focused on the goal, on the dream. That's why you have to know what it is that you want. Because if you don't truly know what it is that you want, when you're out there speaking to people and they're raining on your parade, then you'll get discouraged. Now they're depositing into you. Now they're influencing you rather than the other way around. So what is it? I mean, why are you doing what you're doing? Is it for family? That you want to provide a better education for your children? Security for their future? You know, leave a legacy? See, these are the things that are important to me. I know these are the things that are important to child. These are the things that are important to Paul. Because when you have children, you want to be able to provide them a better opportunity in life, much like I know that all of you that have children or grandchildren. So that's on the forefront of my mind. You know, having and leaving a legacy for my children. You know, providing a great education for my children. And all those things require money. So therefore, what am I willing to do in order to generate and create the money so that I can do the things that I say that are important to me? That means that I must be willing to go out and do extra work. That means that I must be willing to open up my mouth and speak to people. That I can't allow the fear to cripple me or hinder me. That I have to stay motivated and excited. Because what I'm working for, my family, is important to me. What I'm working for is real to me. So it's not just that I want the $2 million home, because that becomes a byproduct of the work that I do and an excess to the things that I create. So that means that in order for me to live at that level, there's a whole lot of other things that come along with it. And these other things get taken care of. Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of a sinner is stored up for the righteous. Now, that's the last part of the scripture. We read that in the parable of the talents, remember? The wicked one that had the one talent that went and buried his talent was taken away from him and gave to the one that made the most. And the scripture says that the wealth of the wicked are laid up for the just, right? So that's what that means. And I believe that we all have unlimited potential. We all have the gifts and the talents. But are we actually utilizing them to the full? That's the question. And I believe that this business, JMG Network, is an environment for you to be able to pour your gifts and talents into. Because it's not just about making the company successful. It's not just about building so that, you know, the leaders, myself and other leaders can, you know, benefit and profit. It's so that you personally can grow. I'm just thankful to the grace of God that he birthed this vision in Brother Paulie and allowed him to share it with us so that it gives us a platform in which to operate from. But truly, the spirit and the structure of this company, this business, is to benefit the individual. So the individual has to have a real reason why they're building this business. Because this company is made up of individuals that come together collectively to do something extraordinary. So therefore, don't look and see how somebody else is benefiting. Look at yourself and say, what is it that I want and what is it that I'm willing to do in order to get what I want? We're just here to serve you and assist you. Is it a lifestyle? Child just went over this. Is it a lifestyle? The home, the car, the vacation, the financial freedom. What is it? See, don't be confined by your present conditions. Don't allow your temporal situation to define who you are. See, that was my eye-opening for me, because I always believed that it was for somebody else, that good things didn't happen to me the way I wanted them to happen, that it wasn't on purpose, but it was by luck that every so often I got the things that I wanted, or things worked out the way that I wanted them to. But until I actually got into the Word of God, did I realize my entitlement. So, is it a new home? See, I love the Mediterranean style homes. I love it, you know, and I love large homes. You know, so I said 10,000, but 10 to 20,000 is all right with me. You know, I just love space. I can't be confined. I can't be contained in a small glass. I can't be contained in somebody else's definition of the life that I should live. See, I believe in the Word of God. And so, as Chow also quoted the scripture that, you know, the love of money is the root of all evil. So I don't love money. I love God first. I just understand that I'm a child of the Most High. So why should I, you know, operate on a level that's less than just because my faith isn't greater? So I dreamed like this. And I dreamt like this even before I had it like this. Because I'm already there mentally. I just understand that I have to do the work in order for it to materialize in the natural. Is it a new car? You know, that's the Mercedes 600. You know, what is it that you want? Is it a trip? You know, I like going to exotic places. You know, Sister Bertha wanted to go to Africa. But have you minimized your dreams and your goals based upon where you're currently at? Because you can't see in the natural that you can afford to go on an exotic trip. So then you just say, well, you know, if I just spend a weekend at a hotel locally, if I can just, you know, not answer my phone, and, you know, I don't need to go out of town. I can just enjoy myself here locally. But inside, you want to go somewhere. You want to experience skydiving, or you want to experience Africa, or you want to experience somewhere different, but you just can't see it in your current budget. All I'm saying is that you may not actually be able to do it now, but then go to work to do something extra so that you can be able to do it. But don't stop dreaming about it. Don't stop wanting it. Like Charles said, you can go test drive that Maserati. Now, I went and test drove one. You know, we have a Maserati dealership here out on 394. Yeah, and now they actually, you know, do sell Bentleys out of there. But I went and test drove the Maserati before they had the Bentley dealership there. Because actually at that time, I went and test drove a Bentley also. But they only had like one Bentley in the state of Minnesota because they didn't have a Bentley dealership. And that was out on Highway 100. You know, so it was like the Volkswagen dealership out there on Highway 100, but they only had like one Bentley, the Flying Spur. So I went and test drove that as well. But I didn't have it in the bank. But I didn't allow that to stop me from going out there and test driving what it is that I thought I wanted. So when I test drove the Maserati, I decided I really didn't want a Maserati. That was Mario's dream. But I still wanted to go experience it for myself. So never define yourself on your present condition. You know, I always refer to the Word of God because that's my foundation. You know, I have to, because if it doesn't be for my understanding of the Word, then I don't become the individual I am today. And this was the eye-opener for me in Genesis 26 through 28. Then God said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them. So if I believe what the Word of God says, but my thinking has been conditioned to accept less because based upon what others see or what others have said and what I have even conditioned myself to think and believe, then there's a contradiction there. Because here it says I should have dominion over all the things of the earth. So therefore, only thing I need to do is increase my faith to believe, line up with the Word of God, then go to work to do the work and apply the gifts and talents that God has already blessed me with. Then I begin to see different results. Then it's not by chance, it's not by luck, but it's by design purpose. Because I believe that I was entitled to this. So therefore, my thinking and my mentality is different. I'm no longer a victim of circumstances. I become victorious. I become an overcomer. I become an achiever. So therefore, I expect greater things. I expect more out of life. So therefore, I receive more out of life because I expect it. And if I get less, I don't receive it because I know that's not what I'm entitled to. Right. So even though bad things may occur in my life, I don't accept that as the end result. I'll use situations that may not work out the way that I thought they should have as learning opportunity to discover what it is that I need to improve on, areas that I need to work on. So therefore, I'm always focused on my goal. I'm always focused on the things that I desire out of life. So therefore, I'm always moving forward because I know that I have not arrived yet. And I also understand, because I have a mandate, that it's not just for my own personal consumption. So in order for me to have the $2 million home, my family is going to be taken care of. And guess what? A whole lot of other families are going to be taken care of. Because the only way that we, generate money through JMG is by helping somebody else. That's why I love this system, because it's not lopsided, it's not one-sided. It's based upon individuals coming together collectively to do something extraordinary. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. See, we have a mandate. We have a mandate. And that mandate does not mean that you just do a 9 to 5, come home and sit on the couch and watch TV. You have gifts and talents within yourselves. The question is, what is it that you want? What is it that you truly desire? Because I don't know about you, but I just can't settle for less. you know, there's always a burning desire on the inside to do more. So therefore, I can't rest until I continue to do more. My personality is one, I just can't sit back and do nothing. Because to me, that's counterproductive. You know, that's why I don't get into all these video games and stuff like that. Because it just, to me, it's a waste of time. You know, I may entertain myself with the movie, things like that, but, you know, I've seen grown men just sit and spend hours playing video games and pride themselves on the fact that they so good. I feel like in order for you to get good, you have to spend a lot of hours doing that. But then again, they're not living the lives that they truly desire. They're not at the level that they want to be. But somewhere along the line, they haven't connected the fact that they're doing unproductive things when they could be doing something different. Whether working 2 jobs, whether, you know, working harder on the current job to get a raise or something, whatever the situation may be. But we have too many people walking around that are confined, that aren't pouring themselves into something productive so that they can truly transform themselves and realize their full potential. So I challenge you this morning. You know, I'm wearing all black. Yes, I'm going to a funeral. Right here. We're burying, we're putting to rest that poverty spirit, that poverty mindset. We're putting to rest being broke. And we're going to bring to life some new thoughts, some new energy. So I'm mourning this morning, but I'm joyful because today is a new day. So we have to put on a new mindset. Yesterday is a canceled check, as my pastor always says. But tomorrow represents unlimited potential based upon what you do today. So can we do this? If we put your mind to it, we can all speak the same language, and that is 3 this week. Brother Paulie laid out this morning the theory, which is 3 people, right? I hope y'all really grasp the depth of that concept of a theory of 3 people. What I received out of that is that we always say 3 this week, right? But do we really say it and believe it? See, a theory is something that's already been proven. So it's not a hypothesis, it's a theory. So if you believe the theory of 3 people, then you won't accept anything less. You won't accept not having your 3 people. You won't accept somebody telling you what doesn't work. You won't accept it. Now, those of you that are here, your actions tell me that you believe. Now, we got to take that to a higher level. We got to make that a conviction. We have to make it faith. So therefore, when you're speaking to somebody and they're worthy, that you qualified them, and they have the ability to pay the $149.95, you're speaking to them with authority. You're speaking to them knowing with confidence that you know what? 3 this week works. So therefore, I need you to adopt the same philosophy that 3 this week works. Because then, when they pay the $149.95 and they go out there with the confidence that I'm gonna go get my 3 this week, now we begin to have the pattern that they get their 150 back the following week. Now we got greater testimonies. Now, what's been happening is that we have people that want to experiment. They don't believe it fully. So then they may come out to test the waters, take a look at it, spend a couple of weeks coming out just testing the water. But in that trial period, they actually think they're working a business because they haven't committed, but maybe they went and spoke to some people, but their commitment level isn't demonstrated, so then they'll tell somebody, well, I'm checking out this business opportunity. I want you to come check it out with me. So maybe they say yes or no. Maybe they didn't show up. Maybe they came out. But the individual that invited them never made a commitment. Then you bring somebody else out to take a look at the business with an uncommitted individual. Guess what's going to happen? They're not going to commit. Now, the person never made an investment. So what do they tell you? Oh, I don't think this is for me. Have y'all been experiencing that? So therefore, have that passion, have that excitement, have that commitment, have that belief. Like, you know what? I don't even want to waste my time. I thought you was a serious individual. Now, these are individuals you have a relationship with. Like Charles said, you got to figure out the doors that you can go through, right? But you come to them with that conviction, like, no, you really need to do this. Then you need to follow these instructions, what I'm telling you to do. After you do this, then you want to sit down, then go sit down. But at least you'll thank me because you've started something that you can't turn off. You've started something that can change your life financially. But at least respect the fact that what I'm telling you, I believe, and go ahead and make the commitment, then get your 3 people, then do whatever you're going to do. Because trust me, they put 150 down. They follow your instructions just because they see your conviction, your belief. They get their 150 the following week. They're going to get excited about that. They're going to get committed to that. Then, now you start to see your business grow. But let's not play the, I'm going to just try it out game. Let's get people to move to action. Then get people to commit and to adopt the theory as a belief system so that they'll go out and do at least the first step, step 1 and step 2. Because if you bring them out, they sign up just to please you, and they don't do anything with it, they're going to say that I was in that business, but that business didn't work. But they never truly worked the business. And that's what Brother Paulie be meaning when he talks about leadership. Because as leaders, we have to engage the people, get them connected, and get them to follow the first 2 steps, step 1 and step 2, so that they can begin to see the power of the system. So just like Nehemiah's vision of seeing the wall restored, which protected his people, presented or represented their dignity, the people joined in the vision by having a mind to work and a commitment to do what was asked. Are you willing to commit and work hard for your future? Are you willing to do that? That was a question. Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
And the only reason why you would commit to doing that is because you have something that is real to you that you're working towards. Because you won't commit to my vision. Some of y'all, when I said I want a $2 million home, some of y'all said in your mind, I don't need all of that. But you're working towards your goal. I'm working towards my goal. All I'm saying is that we can work together to achieve everybody's goal. If we're speaking the same language. If we're working in agreement. If we're all committed to our individual goals. But guess what? I say 2 million, but and I said 2 years because I want to at least enjoy the home I'm in now. You know, that's the only reason why I said 2 years. Because I know I can speed it up because I know what I can do. But I just want to be comfortable for the next 2 years and then plan it right. But if me planning it right, I want to help a whole lot of other people. I mean, because in all honesty, where I'm at right now is comfortable, it's nice, but I understand that we're always changing, we're always growing. We should always be expanding. But before I expand, I want to help some other people to expand their situation. I want to help create some other testimonies. I mean, did y'all feel that with, when Brother Paulie was like, Brother Wallace in his swag and, giving his testimony? Brother Greg, Brother Fred, I want to see you in this room because you motivate me. You encourage me. So I want to see your lives transform and change. Why? Because when you commit to something, when you commit to another man's vision, and that is JMG Network, then there's a blessing and anointing that comes along with that. And when you commit to somebody else's, and when you found faithful to be faithful to somebody else's, guess what? Then somebody will become faithful to you. And when you're a visionary, you see that you have people that are with you, that encourages you, that moves you, that excites you, because you know that you're doing this with them as well. So I need your vision and your goals and your dreams to be real to you, because what we're working towards is real to me. And because your actions of your commitment and your faithfulness to be here, I know that it's real to you. So let's take this thing and put it in high gear. Let's not get weary and well doing. Let's not tire. Let's get excited.
Amen.
Know that what we're working for is real.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I don't care what the naysayers may say.
Right.
I don't care what they're talking about that don't work. You need to have the belief and the faith in the theory of 3 people and just make sure you get the right 3 people.
That's right.
So you just sorting, as Mario always said, you just sorting people. Those that do and those that don't. So your actions speak louder than your words. Now is the season. Now is the time. Now let's go out there and see the manifestation of your faith and your actions in the natural. Are y'all with me?
Yes.
So we ain't going to accept no is no answer.
Right.
So I want you to focus on people you have a relationship with. And tell them, no, I'm not going to allow you to miss this. You need to be at Wealth Day.
Mm-hmm.
Period. You need to be in this business and do as I tell you and get your 3 people because they need it too. Now you have a different posture about yourself. Now you have a different passion and conviction. Now you have more belief and faith when you're speaking to people. But then as a leader, you take it to the next level. You just don't get them to sign up based upon your relationship. Now you got to coach them and guide them to get their 3 people to duplicate it. Because it doesn't do anybody any good to just go down 2 levels. We need to continue to build deep. Because that's what we're working for, right?
Mm-hmm.
The residual income, right?
That's right.
We want to build a system complete, right?
Yes.
Nehemiah and the people, when they built the wall, they couldn't build it halfway. And so, we had a good try. That was a good effort. No, they had to finish that project. We got to finish what we started. We still have 1 month in this year. Let's finish out this year strong, going into the new year with so much momentum that all of us in this room system is completed by the end of 2013. Do y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do y'all believe that?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Now let our actions line up with what we say we believe. So there must come a time in your life where you must fight for your future and the future of those that are important to you. Now is that time, and now is your future. I told y'all, child did my training. But I want y'all to hear me spiritually right now. The reason why we can say the same things, we speak the same language, because there's only one spirit.
Mm-hmm.
We are connected spiritually. That tells me and confirms what I believe about this business. This has already been ordained. That's why we have the same training, because it's already been. So it's nothing new. We're now just walking it out in the natural. But spiritually, this has already been done. So that means that we've been confessing this is going to be a $1 billion company, right?
Right.
So that means that spiritually, in the spiritual realm, it's already done.
Right.
Now we're here in the natural, walking in belief, walking in faith, walking in unison as one voice, and doing the work to make it manifest here in the natural. So don't take it lightly. You know, Brother Paulie was talking about, you know, you hear a song that's hot, and you go buy it, and then you hear it over and over again. Then it loses something about it. Well, the opposite is true too. You ever heard a song you didn't like, but then they played it over and over and over again on the radio, all of a sudden, that's my jam. So don't get familiar with this business. Don't get familiar with the leadership. Have that renewed spirit, renewed mind daily. Brother Child said, every day should be a new year. Every day should be the weekend. You know, I lose sight and track of days. I don't let nobody know, but I do. I have to wake up and remind myself what day it is. Because the days don't differ with me. I do when I, you know, choose to do on a daily basis. So therefore, I don't, you know, holidays, I forget. Because every day is a holiday. But I want other folks to live that lifestyle. And hear my spirit. That's why I always qualify what I say by telling you that I'm rooted in the Word of God. And it's the Word of God that has transformed and changed my life. Because I take no credit. Only thing I'm saying is that I've learned something, I've experienced some things, and I enjoy my life, and I'm trying to share that knowledge and wisdom and information with other people so that they can enjoy their lives as well. I don't believe, because I'm not self-absorbed, that I'm the only one that was created to live the life that I live. I believe because of my heart and passion to help people and willing to share the information that God has allowed me to experience some things so I can tell other folks that it's doable. Then it's up to you, for you to receive it by faith and believe it. Then let's lock arms together and do some work so that we can change the reality of a lot of other folks. Because what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you.
That's right.
That's why I said I can speed up the plan, but I want to help some other people. And as a result of helping other people, then by default, I achieve the things that I want out of life. Because I'm at a different place today. I want to be a blessing to so many folks.
That's right.
I want people to transform their lives. Wealth Day to me is folks that have done something, coming together to share their knowledge and experience with other folks that they have a passion and desire to help. Now it's a matter of the people being there to receive the information so that they can apply it to their lives and change their lives. You all have been anointed to go out there and spread the word about Wealth Day to get the folks in the house. And I know, I hear the competition between Brother Wallace and Brother Fred. Sister Bertha, I know y'all out there putting up flyers. Y'all even starting to, you know, backtrack and duplicate efforts, right? But that's how everybody should be. Everybody should be out there putting up flyers, getting the word out. Brother Paulie said it don't do no good to have a room with just 20, 30 people in it, and somebody's willing to sow $12,000 into your development, but it's not just about you. It's not just about me. It's about other people that need it. So we need to be the ambassadors and go out there and spread the word to get other people in the house. Because we have $1 million business by building a $1 billion corporation. Now, the lottery was the largest in history, right? I read that 60 people became millionaires. I don't participate in the lottery, and I'll tell you why. Because years ago when I worked over on the, the West Bank at the Red Sea, the owner of the club told me that you just like the rest of the black people in America. You got a lottery mentality. And that stuck with me. Because I'm not waiting for somebody else to give something to me. When I know I have the ability to go out there and produce it for myself. I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to gamble. Because those few dollars could be better served in my pocket. And one more quick note, I went to the Restaurant Depot the other day, and they had the wrong price on the product, right? It was $1 cheaper. And the dude asked me, "You making all this fuss over dollars? Over $1?" I said, "Yes, because it's my dollar. I had to work for that dollar.
That's right.
I had to trade time for that dollar. I'm not just going to give you $1 for the sake of giving you $1, because in my mind started, well, how many other folks did y'all get for this dollar? Because I'm thinking of leverage. Now it's $1 to me, but now it's $100 when it involves 100 people. $1,000 for 1,000 people. But that's how we have to think as true business owners. So go out there, position yourself to win, promote Wealth Day. Let's have a successful day next Saturday with Wealth Day, so that it's going to begin to manifest in your businesses, because that's the way to expose people that you normally can't get out to a Tuesday meeting to a better and different lifestyle by hearing from other millionaires that are willing to share their knowledge and experience. God bless.
All right.
Brother Paul,
Yes,
Brother Child just stomped all over.